Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Kellen.
I'm Sam.
Today we're having a look at the Hellyers Original.
Alrighty, so wee bottles we got here. We got like a 3-pack of the Hellyers to giving you a little bit of range of their range. Basically, just because as everything in Australia, especially whiskey, it's boutique, small, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We want to try it. Also gives us a review with less money, but also we want to buy their bottles, but we just want to give it a check out first.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to do it. We would recommend doing the same. So basically, Hellyers is.
Hellyers.
He's not saying Hellyers. Hellyers, I think. Basically, it's from Tasmania, Australia. The original is their flagship, obviously, by being called original. And this one is, I don't know the ABV actually. 46.2 is the ABV. It's 100% malted barley from Tasmania. The aging process, though, the maturation, is actually the interesting part. They do it all within ex-Jack Daniel bourbon casks, which is fun because I feel like some people do use Jack Daniel's casks for stuff, but a lot of the time they don't name it specifically. It'll just be kind of like ex-bourbon and stuff, but ex-Jack Daniel, so it's going to be a little on the sweeter side if that barrel does impart that kind of sweet note from Sweet, yeah, very sweet. There's not a whole lot else to say other than these guys are relatively new in regards to whiskey, but also the distillery itself is quite old in regards to Australian whiskey, at least like the New World Australian whiskey that's in kind of popularity now. It's like 16 years old or something. So like absolutely toddler age compared to America and Scotland, but for us it's pretty decent. But yeah, I'm trying to think, was there anything else? There's nothing else that stuck out in its history other than the Jack Daniels, around 3 years age. They don't chill filter, they don't add any colouring, which is nice to see because Australian whiskies regulations are a little bit like intense in some areas and then completely non-existent in others, instead of being balanced. So we'll get into it.
I'm getting sweet wood. Basically,
I'm getting brighter fruits though. Like it's sweet, it's definitely sweet, but I'm getting more instead of it being like typical
fruit.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm getting like instead of raisins and stuff, I'm getting like more apricot or nectarine or something.
Yeah, nectarines.
Like it's much brighter. Yeah. I reckon nectarine, like a little bit before they're like soft, the harder nectarines. That white stone fruit, it's bang on.
Peach and pear as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like holding my hand up like this, trying to like will nose through just fancy gestures. It's got a white wine note. It's like a Riesling kind of thing going on.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Also, just like this isn't what we were alluding to before, as in like
finished.
Next stage, finished, bad, awesome, badass background. This is just, again, kind of just like we've put it up last minute because we're still
Do you know what the time
absolutely, we're absolutely behind with just like getting so many things done at the moment.
And we're working.
The time is,
it's 10 past 1 in the morning.
It is 10 past 1 in the morning.
I have work in 7 hours.
Yes,
meetings,
and I just got home from work, so our hours line up very well. But yeah, so this isn't the permanent one, but at least got a plant in this shot, a little bit of colour. Anyway, we'll jump into the taste.
Yeah. I'm actually really...
I just like breathed in while trying to sip it and I got like the fumes.
I'm like really pleasantly surprised by...
Keep getting it.
Just by the...
Yeah.
It's not bright, it's just like the young kind of fruity flavours. Like almost winey.
Definitely winey for me. It's like I'm getting like a Riesling or something.
You like coffee or chocolate?
It went like initially it was just like the same nose, it was like bright fruits, and then it went like and it was like malty and like cocoa.
It's like
with raisins.
Yeah.
It's like healthy chocolate.
It tastes like
oatmeal or something like those fancy like health food stores have like their cocoa oatmeal kind of like.
What's the space side we did recently?
For me, it's like kind of kicking naked grouse way. Because it's got that. Oh, the nose is still like brighter though. It's not as dark.
Yeah, the nose is really bright. Even like the initial sip, it's spiky. On the
Yeah,
sip,
it's got
on the
well,
palate.
like as I was saying before, like I was kind of breathing in, ready to sip, and I was like tasting the fumes. It was like,
I mean, it's 46%.
Yeah, but it tastes. Well, yeah, 46 is like decent. 46 is like I reckon the golden spot for lower proof, but like high enough that you're getting like really good flavors.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting like really.
It's all over the shop.
Nutty now, like waxy nuts.
I'm just getting like a heavily sherried Scotch, but it's also kind of been like thrown into a white wine barrel for like 2 weeks or something. Like, it's just this weird kind of like tinge.
It's a weird
to it.
mashup, but I
It's
enjoy
not
it,
bad,
to be
and
honest.
it doesn't taste like spiky young.
No.
It doesn't taste like it's been fractured by.
It's lively though.
Yeah, it's definitely lively, but it doesn't taste like it doesn't know what the hell it's doing.
Yeah,
Like it tastes like it's something. It's definitely, if you're gonna like, even though I think that's something to mention, even though it is ex Jack Daniel barrels in its aging, it's still heading Scotch way on the majority of the flavour.
Well, I mean that's kind of Australian whiskey.
Yeah, it's more Scotch oriented. But Australian whiskey doesn't have, like you say bourbon, American whiskey, but it's corn whiskey, so specific or Scotch, it's going to be malted barley. This is malted barley, so it's going to be more Scotch oriented with the flavour just by default because of the mash bill. But yeah, that bourbon note definitely is imparting something, but it's not to the point where it's like, oh, I'm getting bourbon notes. It's more just like it's adding some of that weird sweet fruitiness to it.
I'm getting like almost. Coming back to the nose, you know how we get like banana for the wood tannins?
You get like plantain. Like as in like green as hell, like banana. Like crunchy green banana. Like you don't want to eat it. I mean, I don't really like banana anyway, so
yeah, I don't want to
eat it. I don't want to eat it even when it's meant to be eaten, but like it's like when you smell completely green banana. I think plantains are the same as banana, but like they're always green, so in my head it's just like an unripe banana. Yeah, it's kind of got that banana smell, but without that sickly sweetness and that kind of mealy. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's interesting. This is not something like I've had all the notes in here. I've had, but not all at once. I feel like we've tried them in different things, but not all at once together. It's a weird like mix, sherry, but sweet bourbon banana, but also not cherry and more like kind of lighter dark white stone fruits and I don't know, white wine. And
the nose and palate seem disjointed.
They just seem different. Like both of them are really nice, but they're not indicative of the other.
Like if you were like, I mean, when you smell it, you're expecting something entirely different than what you get on the palate.
Yeah,
you're expecting something like light, sweet,
more bright fruits.
But it's like really dark, malty.
There's still like fruits in the taste, but it is more like sherry.
Yeah.
It's more sherry, darker fruits, whereas the smell is more like juicy, kind of barely ripe stone fruits, which doesn't really carry for the flavour to us.
No.
Cocoa kind of pops out. Cocoa opens up, not Cocoa Pops, as in like the cereal. Cocoa like opens up in the palate, and I did not get that at all in the nose, but it's interesting.
Is it cocoa or like a dark chocolate? Is there a root of sweetness? Maybe doesn't dark chocolate got sweetness?
Yeah, but you can.
Cocoa's just like.
You can tell it's past 1 o'clock in the morning. We should probably wrap this one up before Curly actually topples off the edge of the balustrades. If you like this episode of Everything Whiskey, leave us a like. If you want to see future episodes from us, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.